just sound very excited. I'm from London. Did you guess? Woo! So, Turkish Cypriot. Chill. Hold. Yeah. I'm Turkish Cypriot. My dad named me. He also wrote a book, How to Get Your Kids Beaten Up at School. And the gist of the book is put them into a white school in Hertfordshire and that will do it. Anyway, when I was growing up in the 80s at school, I was a victim of racism. Anyone here know about racism? Have you heard of it? Yeah? So we had a particularly great brand of racism in Hertfordshire in the 80s. So I was getting called things like Packy, Wog, Coon, Bubble. Now, who here knows what bubble means? Yes, bubble and squeak, right? What is bubble and squeak? It's English rhyming slang. So bubble and squeak, Greek. Ah, I've been called bubble more times than you lot. Anyway, don't take offence. Apples and pears, stairs, whistle and flute, suit. Yeah? That's how it works. Anyway, so Packy wasn't the only name I was being called. I was getting called all sorts of things. Spag bol, spaghetti bolognese, that means I'm Italian. It wasn't sophisticated, but it was effective. Anyway, what I realised was all this racism wasn't really about what you were, because no one knew what Turkish Cypriot was. In fact, no one knows what it is now, because we don't exist. You know, this is a good crowd for that one. So I realised that actually it wasn't about you being attacked and abused by racism, it was the effect they'd get. And I thought, well, it seems like this racism's equal, so then it must be fair. 10 years of therapy to say that, you can get a bit of a better response, right? Anyway, so listen, I'm 57. You didn't say your age. Ah. and I've got a girlfriend, yeah? She's 12, yeah. Joking. So my girlfriend is very spiritual, you know? So when we go out, people say, so how did you two meet? And she'll say, oh, our hearts matched our beats and the stars come out and it was very spiritual and I knew straight away this man would be part of my life and there was a connection. Girls, you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. Are there any heterosexual men here tonight? No. No? The last gig I did on the other side, you know, there was one. So it was, I felt... So they asked me, so Erkan, you know, about you, what was your first time when you met her? I said, nice tits. No, see, it doesn't go down, does it? You know? But that's men for you, and a crowd of no heterosexual men, I suppose. Preparation is key with these things, right? So anyway, I grew up with Greek Cypriot friends, Turkish Cypriot friends, you know. We had those in London, and my first friend was Kyriakos Ofanidis, and we used to have a fantastic time. We got on really well, it was fantastic. And in college I met Donios. Yeah. Anyway, then there was Theo Popolopoulos, and then we had that, you know. And what I realised was actually that, and I think my message is that we are all so much more the same than we are different. Yeah? And if you come from London, the Greek Cypriots are your best friends, other than, yes, if you get on with the Turkish Cypriots, that is. You know, they really are. We're more the same than we are different. And I have a message. If anything is putting us against each other, Turkish Cypriots, Greek Cypriots, take humanity as your side. That's my message for that, right? Anyway, I got a bit heavy there, so let's lighten it up a bit. I'm wondering what to tell you next, really. I don't want to offend any more people. Have I offended anyone? I think my final message is this. Comedy is spiritual, and spiritual work overcomes evil. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.